All right, we're the Hebrew Israelites who come in week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, also known as the United Snakes of America. Here we are, right? Shalom. All right. To wake up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indian, Speckled Bird, and get you to repent, acknowledge your offense, pray for forgiveness, and get back in order, all right? First and foremost, and as always, all praise due to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Mahamadam, double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. The shalom and salutations, all the brothers God pushing the word of truth and its sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, all right? So, the devil. We're going to open up with the devil, with the top devils. And no matter how much it don't look like it, your boy Sleepy Joe is one of the top devils that they put on display to show that is Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Shalom. Well, okay, hey. All right, have a good camp. Shalom. Thawada.
I just gutted your whole car out.
Meaning what?
I gutted it out.
Put new.
I fixed it, but I did the box and everything. I just gotta get it now.
Oh, you put new seats and stuff?
Yeah, did it all.
I can't wait to see it.
I'm missing a part.
All right. All right, shalom. That's the brother. The brother. Brothers from water. All right, we're gonna have to get that. But not that he don't need, he's doing the work. This guy, when I met him, he was doing the work. He's doing the work now. The water to the brother. His devil knoweth that he hath but a short time. I'm gonna get it just the same. You kind of caught me by surprise. I saw him over there, but then I saw somebody walking up. I'm like, who's that? Brother. Okay, so come on. Drink. Bear with me. What? This is Matthew 10 and 42. And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a prophet, just say disciple. Only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. Well, this brother got a reward. First of all, he's working, right? He's given diligence to make his calling and election sure. He's a trooper. He's my brother, and we've come a long way, and that's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. For us to be here, it's been a long battle, and it's been a long test, and the Most High testing both of us. And Lord willing, we see each other on that chariot. You understand? And this is what it's all about. Okay? here we are at the end, clearly, and he and I are doing great at this point. So there's that. But let me find this because I don't like that one word. Let's go here to Bible Hub. And Esau is done. To see this devil, right, out here just fucked up is reassurance that that we're at the end. And it's beautiful. I'm looking at this goddamn devil. Yeah, it does say disciple. Okay, and whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. Now let me read up a little bit. Let me read 41. I'm going to start from 40, and it's Matthew 10 and 40, and the header on there says, the reward of service, okay? And I was just telling my wife, I was like, look, she said she had a dream. I'm going to expound upon the dream. She said, she had a Isaiah 4:1 dream, right? And she said that, that she didn't know whether it was SHTF yet by the dream, but we were together, and then some woman had sauntered her way up into our fold, and then she was in, and my wife could tell that she wasn't right, and she was there to sow strife and disorder. And she looked back at her like, I got him and you don't, type of thing. And I was like, well, first of all, I'm like, let me explain to you what's going on. If the Most High done brought somebody in, that's one thing, but that don't mean until we're on a chariot, ain't nobody made it, okay? And anybody that has fought as long and hard as you have, I'm explaining to her, because she fought she been fighting, right? She been fighting a long, hard battle under the conditions, right? The conditions that she's abiding by. If she's right and she's righteous, hey, she's in there, from what I can see, right? So I'm like, really the dream is pertaining to you. All right, Isaiah 4:1 is coming, but don't get it twisted. It's not about, this one or that one. This is about you continuing on, working out your own salvation in fear and trembling, being a part of this thing. Having a man of the Lord right now, and knowing what this truth is about, and knowing how to operate under these conditions, you're going to have them last minute 11th hour, 1/3's coming in, but hey, there's still order. There's still, you might be given a look at the kingdom and then get taken out of that thing. We don't know. So we all have to act accordingly. I don't know what I was getting. So I'm going to start at 40. This is Matthew 10 and 40. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. Okay? He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. It's backing itself. Right? The scriptures are being repetitive and redundant, right? So that you get the understanding, because Jake is so stiff-necked and hard-head, right? They're going to make it into what they want to anyway, but it's not that the scripture didn't go back and say it 15 times so that a nigga would understand. And that's good. The spirit of redundancy is coming out in the brotherhood right now too, right? Why? Because we got all of these damn false prophets, and I mean, if nothing else, we're being shown that we're in the last days because of these damn false prophets. All right, well, the Spirit is going there. So let me try to get this out real quick. Now 42. And whosoever shall give to drink one of these little ones a cup of cold water in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. This applies to my wife, because she's been giving me a cold cup of water now for a minute. Okay? So shout out to you, and keep up the good work. We haven't made it, right? We're going to endure until the end. We're going to keep doing what we're doing in order until the end, right? And Lord willing, we make it. But just keep doing what you're doing. If you have a dream like that, I'll interpret the dream. And the dream was for you, no matter what you think you see happening, you stay in order, and a demon is going to reveal. Most High ain't delivering no demons, okay? So if you see a demon, guess what? The demon ain't going to make it. The demon ain't done what you've done for 10 years and go through what you've gone through to make it to this point. Back to my brother and I. My brother and I haven't always seen eye to eye. I was watching the brother from L.A., the beloved brother Barack Allah. He came straight out and said, "Hey, we don't get along. Some of us don't get along, and don't like each other, but we gotta love each other. You understand that? That's in the brotherhood, and I mean, there's no room for that. But sometimes you won't see eye to eye with a brother, but you're instructed to do what? Okay, forgive your brother." After 10, 11 years, right, you start to refine who you are, right? And here we are at the end of all things. Guess what? Guess what you gotta do? You gotta get your brother. You gotta check yourself. You gotta look in the mirror, check yourself, and say, "I'm fucking up right here. Let me go holler at my brother. Let me get me right. And me getting me right is going to get him right, and then we all right, we're going to see each other on this chariot." All right? That's what this thing is about. It's about reproof, right? But it's also about knowing how close we are to the end. And the elder brother Kazak, he will quickly let you know, I'm about the northern kingdom. I'm about the northern. Most High put the spirit of the northern kingdom on me, right? Well, the Most High put the spirit on me, old as I am, right, to be a beacon or a clarion for how close are we to the end of this damn thing, right? And we all have a part. We all have a function within the body, right? Some of us are that guy. Everybody wants to be that guy, but nobody wants to be the toe, right? I'm like this. I will gladly be the toe, right? Because I just want to be in. I just want to get on that chariot. I'll gladly be the toe, right? So we each have a job to do. The elder brother Kazak is to stabilize, if you will, the northern kingdom. Because the northern kingdom ain't all Latin, right? It's some northern kingdomers looking just like they would supposedly look like they were from the southern kingdom, right? So my focus would be, how close are we to the end? and I would say very, very close. Now, with that being said, all right, I find myself hastening the day to a fault. Get all excited. Hey, we're out of here. We're out of here. I see the brother. I'm gonna tell you who else does that, right? And I say it in a loving fashion, but the brother or the elder Amawan Gabar, he be hastening the day, boy. And I see that in him, and then I equate that to myself, but he be hastening the day. He wants to get the fuck out of here. And he's a young man from the perspective of an elderly man. So, but now I got to get 1 Peter because come on. Peter 4 and 7, but the end of all things is at hand. All right? Be therefore sober and watch under prayer. All right? So, I love that scripture because I want nothing more than for this thing to come to an end. Now, I understand the prophecies and the order of the prophecies and where we're at because we're watching like hawks, right? So as I push and I hasten, right? This is 2 Peter 4 or 3 and 2 Peter 3. And I'm gonna just get to the point. 3 and 12. Looking for and hastening until the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. I'm like this. How close are we to the missiles? Every day, right? That's the reason for the World War III daily update. How close are we to the missiles? And the nuclear missiles, not ones that they're bringing in now. You understand? I'm hastening that. I'm on the look for it. How close are we? And there are things that have to happen before the missiles. That's understood. Now, right, and we're close. But being close, right, and hastening, there's something that comes in the middle of 1 Peter. There's something that comes, Salakia. There's something that comes in between 1 Peter 4 and 7, which is, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And 2 Peter 3 and start at 12. Looking for and hastening until the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. How close? What comes in between those two things? Okay, which is what the Spirit is pushing me to speak on today. I'm gonna hasten with all I got, but what comes with that is a huge portion of patience. Okay? Because where it is that I want this damn thing to come now, right? Bring the chaos. Bring the opening of the southern border. Bring the lockdowns. Bring the starvation. Bring the the race war, bring the civil war, bring the motherfucking chaos. Okay? Bring all of that shit, because that's the only way that we're going to get on a chariot. Now, with that comes what? It comes that patience. I got to be patient. Okay? While measuring the time diligently in itself, I got to be patient. What does it mean to measure thou the time? In measure is what this thing is about. This thing is about being in measure. Second Ezra's Second Ezra's 9:1. Salaki. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And I'm going to stop right there, because within the word measure is the word patience. In measure. You do things in measure. You move forward in measure. You have to be patient. You can't make, right, this thing happen over. You're responding to the Most High's time. Okay? You gotta wait for it. Hey, when you're watching that movie, right? When you're watching that movie, what do you gotta do? There's a phrase that has been made famous now. And the phrase goes like this: wait for it. Okay? Hey, you gotta wait for it. Gotta wait for it. Now, wait for it what? Wait for it patiently. Wait for it knowingly. Wait for it while you're hastening. All of these things come together. Okay? You gotta be watching, you gotta be patient, and you gotta be hastening. Okay? All at the same time. All right? You got to give diligence. Right? You got to be balanced. Okay? You got to be balanced. I tell my wife, right? Hey, you my wife. Don't trip. You're my wife. And when these other girls come in, you're my wife. Okay? My woman. Other wives, maybe, if that be the Most High's will. I don't want one more wife, right? And certainly not. Of course, it's the nature of women when they get together. Where are you going to find order there? You ain't going to find it. Depending on their level of fear, right, and how bad they want to be protected. But guess what? One side eye, right? And I trust my woman, who is my wife, my one wife. I trust her to come up and say, this bitch right here is giving me the side eye, right? Which she wouldn't say, because she has the fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. I trust that she has that proper fear to come and tell me, Because she'll fuck her if she get caught up in that thing, in that back and forth, that out of orderness within the camp. She understands that that's fucking her. From what I know about her, right? And that's her working out her own salvation with fear and trembling. What I know about her, I trust her to come and say, well, this one right here, right? She's gonna fuck up the whole camp. Right? I'm like, okay. I'll keep my eye on her. You keep your eye on it, because you're running, right? You're at the head of the wives, right? I trust you. You've been vetted. But here's what I don't have time for. I don't have time for disorder in the house. It's your job as my only wife at the moment. You're being entrusted with keeping the house. That's your job, is to keep the house in order. While I focus on these other tasks that the Most High wants me to focus on. I'm watching. I'm just read it in 9. It's slipping me right now. 2nd Ezra 9:1. I am. What am I doing? Measuring. Salaki. I'm out here measuring. How can I accurately measure when that's your job is to keep the house in what? In order. I trust you to do that. Okay? That's when them skills that you got, right? That's when they come back into play in this house, right? See? Between me and you, there's one chief, right? But then, because it's just me and you right now, so you got to relax. Be patient, because you're going to, guess what? You're going to use them skills you got, them leadership skills. You're going to be the leader of 7 women. And 7 means completion. That can be 3. Lord willing. Lord willing, it's 2. You and the other one. Right? The Most High said 7 women. 7 women. Get ready. Okay? 7 can mean 10. And that's on you. You got to get them skills out. Right? Because I'm going to be measuring. I don't have time, to do your job. You got a job to do. I got a job to do. Hey, we've been doing well. We're doing well. Okay? I got to go get with the brother. Okay? I got to make sure the brother, all right, here's how this thing works, right? We ain't got nothing. If I ain't got my brother, then we ain't got a damn thing. Okay, so okay? And then I got to talk to you. I don't, but you're good. Right? You understand. But in a minute, your hands will be full with one other woman, trying to get her up to speed. And I'm going to let you handle it. All right? Why? Because I got to be focused over here. All right? Hey, even in the famine of the word, even in the famine, there's work to be done. All right, where are we going to be in the famine? When the famine comes, what does that mean? That means that we're America's most wanted. We're going to be being hunted. Right? Hey, it's not all fun and games. Ain't going to be no fun and games. Very, very serious situation. Dire. All right? We're this close to being pilgrims. Okay? And back to repetitiveness. My wife, woman/wife, number one, knows I'm on that ass all the time about, look, we got to start out with nothing. Nothing on your back. It'd be cool, but nothing on your back is everything, right? Having absolutely no. See, this is the true meaning of you will own nothing and be happy. The true meaning, and this devil, that's the devil trying to co-opt Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, right? And I'm talking a lot and I got to get to the precepts, but you will own nothing and be happy. Happy why? Well, this ain't came out in a while. We're going back to the beginning. Revelation 2 and 9. Revelation 2 and 9, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty. Right? You will own nothing. But thou art rich. There's the happy. You're rich. You can own nothing and be happy. One night in a hotel. Oh, the little Bible. Look. That's all I need. And it's up here. See, that's the difference between me and you. I don't have to write mine down. That's a Purple Rain reference. That's an inside joke. That's the difference between me and you. I don't have to write mine down. It's all up here. That's called walking in the Spirit. So, we're rich. The true meaning of you will own nothing and be happy. Again, Revelation 2 and 9, you read the whole thing. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Okay? That's dealing with this end. Here come this damn devil trying to co-opt, if you will. He's trying to co-opt the sayings of the Most High. Oh, you own nothing and be. You stole that. Yeah, we're going to own nothing and be happy. Okay? Let's back that up. Let's back that up. 2nd Ezra 16. And here we are, the repetitiveness. It's okay. It's okay. Second Ezra 16. Second Ezra 16 and 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. You're gonna walk away from everything you got. You're gonna own nothing and be happy. Come on, man. You good? You all right? She respected the Lord. Good job. Yeah, you're gonna own nothing. That's owning nothing. What does it mean to be even as pilgrims upon the earth? That means pack your little. This is everything you own is on your back. Walk that way. Time to leave the house We knew this time was coming. You ready? We're going to start out in a modified wedge formation. You're 10 meters in front of me. You take the point. We got these radios. And we're out there on a tactical road march. You know the drill. Right? Zila. Zila, you know. All right? Hey, we've trained for this. We're ready. Okay? We're ready for this. Scriptures say, woe unto them that desire the day of the Lord. Well, listen. We understand. All right? We seek first the kingdom, meaning this. Well, if you would have listened, moron, we understand that Jacob's trouble must be dealt with. We understand that we got to go through the fire. We understand that. It's Matthew 24 and 3 of Salaki. Matthew 24 and 13. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. Salaki. Book of Acts 14 and 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, there's that word, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. We understand. See, that's cutting. Now the Spirit is going to these I can't see, right? We understand that when we say no to that C-hip, we're finna catch hell. We already, what is it? Establish it in your mind. We already understand that. We understand when we see a proud ass, when we see somebody that's proud, that is about to fall on their chin, we see that clearly. And pride cometh right before you fall on your damn chin. Right? You can't see the forest for the trees. You wave your hand at this truth. I can't wait. You look. Kind of look like the proud ass that slipped me a Mickey. Now that I think about it. It's all good though. Hey, the Most High, you think the Most High is playing out here. Keep thinking that. Keep thinking that you got away with something. Because if you do one thing to one of these little ones, it's one thing to do right. Right? But if you harm one hair on one of these prophets' head, you are going to get got. Salaki, let me read this again. Acts 14 and 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Now let's read that in something different, because a nigger can't put those words together. So let's see. And I should probably read 21. Let me read 21 in the NLT. Acts 14 and 21. See, because this has to do with us, the prophets out here, and giving us a cold drink. Shout to the brother, Azamawab, fucking soldier out here. Hey, may the Lord bless that brother and keep him in this faith. Acts 14 and 21, after preaching the good news in Derbe and making many disciples, Paul and Barnabas returned to Lystra, Iconium, and Antioch of Pisidia, where they strengthened the believers. They encouraged them to continue in the faith, reminding them that we must suffer many hardships to enter the kingdom of the Most High. And that's what we're out here doing in the reincarnation. No, I'm not Paul. All right? But one of them brothers out there doing that work, Lord willing, I'm him. Whoever he was. Whoever the toe was, right? Whoever was the toe in the days of Paul, whoever that brother was that was the toe of the body, Lord willing, that was me. Out, and here we are out here doing the same thing. And my brother, right over there, okay, the one that came up like a warrior, like the warrior that he is, right? That put the spirit, changed the whole spirit of the camp by coming up and bringing the water, okay? He don't have to do that, right? He don't have to bring no water to get his reward. He's out here working for it, right? He's out here doing this. That brother's probably the liver. You understand? The liver works really, really hard to keep a body alive. All right? And it takes, let me give you an example of strength, okay? When you have to endure hardship in this truth, okay, let me tell you, I seen a brother not too long ago, not sure, might have been in the main camp in New York. Not too long ago, he got kicked out, or he got suspended, okay? And that's a fucking scary thing. That's not nothing to laugh at. That's not nothing small. That's huge. You get suspended in this thing, you're scared, right? Because what happens if you take it the wrong way? What happens if you don't pass the test? It's a test, okay? So you get suspended. Getting suspended is not getting kicked out, okay? So you can, and the Most High is not going to put more on you than you can handle. But getting kicked out, not getting suspended, Salaka, getting suspended from GMS for 3 months You're on the outside, and you got to hold it together. You're being tested in that thing, right? You're in the fiery furnace of affliction for a minute, and what happened was, before you know it, the brother got GMS back on the front of his name, right? And so that's a thing in this truth, all right? There's also getting kicked out, which is different than being suspended. Getting kicked out, what are you going to do? Are you going to turn against the elders? Are you going to go back into the world, right? It takes, what does it take to continue doing this work? Okay? It takes the liver of a body, right? The liver works hard in the body. The liver does. Right? And without your liver, the body can't make it. So, and I'm just making analogies. I see that, brother, right? And the hardships that have been put, the tests, you know, that he's been put through, and we haven't made anything yet. We ain't there yet. We still got Jacob's trouble. We got all of it. But let me tell you, if anybody's going to make it through Jacob's trouble, or being prepared for that, and we don't know, but you know what, Lord willing, that brother, with all that he's been through, he's certainly been tested. It's called tried and true, right? You got tried and failed, or tried and refined, right? Inside joke. And then you got tried and true, all right? And I say that because he and I have been through the gamut, right? But being in this truth, you understand you got to be tried. That was a trial. Here we are. And you see this brother, right? And that's the beauty of it. The beauty, I get goosebumps. The beauty of it is to know you got a brother, right? It's hard. I got a comment, or I made a comment on a brother's video. It's a good video, and you know, I made a comment, and then he came back when we corresponded a little, and then he made an observation, because I think he subbed me. I forget what his channel name is, but he subbed me, and he said, it must be hard to be in a one-man camp. I pray that you get some fruit soon, right? And absolutely. Absolutely. I pray the same thing, right? But I'm okay. If it's just me out here, I'm okay. It's a lot of one-man camps out there. GMS Virgin Island, one-man camp. He's good. You understand? And I'm not saying that, you know, I don't want da-da-da-da. I'm saying whatever the Most High has in store, I will take it. I will not resist the Spirit in any fashion. But my fruit, right, is standing right there. Most High got him right there. Most High got me right here. Around the block is GMS LA, right? Right here in the Central Valley in the desert, okay? And we're good, all right? We're good, and, you know, I do have fruit, all right? I remember the main camp, and this is years ago. So you gotta, depending on when you came in. I remember I went to LA to see the LA camp. This was fucking, had to be 2011. 2010, 2011. I traveled down to LA because I wanted to stand and watch the LA camp and salute them and all of that, right? And so I'm down there, and it's a line. There's a line stretching all the way down the street, right? And it was amazing, right? But that was the way we did it then, right? I'm standing in front of GMS LA. I think it was in Hollywood. I forget. But it was 40 brothers, conservative, and it was amazing. And then they did a salute, and they're all, yo, my shit. I was like, oh, it was great, right? But that's the way we used to do things. There was 40 brothers strong, right? But now, what have they done? They broke it down to small sanctuary. You got 3 brothers. They still fruit. They still GMS LA. Understand? But because there's 3 in this particular spot, they still GMS LA. Okay? Because I'm standing here and the brother's standing there, we're still a part of GMS. All right? And that comes from the top. And, you know, hey, shout out to the brother Asmawa, right? The brother Dawada. Okay, I forget his brother's name. Lord willing, I get the resources to build them brothers a bag, right? But hey, we're so close to the end, and I'm talking. Spirit is on me. I'm gonna read that again. Acts 14 and 21. After preaching the good news in Derbe and making many disciples, Paul and Barnabas returned to Lystra, Iconium, and Antioch of Pisidia, where they strengthened the believers. They encouraged them to continue in the faith, reminding them that we must suffer many hardships to enter the kingdom of the Most High. Okay? We're being tested, right? That's all I'm gonna read on there. So, and you see my fruit, okay? I'm his fruit, okay? How about that? And I'm not coming against the brother in any way. I'm reassuring him that everything is fine, all right? And we're soldiers out here. It is. I agree with you. It to be a one-man camp, right? That's a thing, right? But you got to understand that the Most High knows exactly what he's doing, and he's doing these things for specific reasons. He wants you, sometimes he wants you to be a one-man camp. Sometimes he wants you to be suspended because he's trying you, he's refining you for a specific purpose. So if I stand here until the famine of the word and nobody ever came, because it'd be easy for me to say to the brother, let's do camp together. That's posted. And we do camp together, right? We do. And we stand solitary sometimes. That brother is right there. He's a phone call away. You understand? We got other means of communications. right? And we're working on those things. The brother contacted me yesterday. We're in constant contact. And whereas it hasn't always been that way, it's been volatile at times, but right now, okay, through growth and maturity, right? Shoot. And that's, I'm, shit. I'm an old man in this thing, right? I'm not going to use the word elder. I'm going to say I'm an old man. I could say this, and nobody could argue this. I'm a gray-haired old man in this thing, right? And it's hard. It's hard, to be from Babylon, right? And like the brother from LA, the beloved brother Barack Allah, said, hey, sometimes, brothers don't get along in the camp, right? But you gotta, you gotta push forward, you gotta, and that comes from fucking Babylon, right? And then there's something called a generation gap. There's ageism. There's all kind of shit that we gotta deal with, right? That, it makes it difficult, right? To be 40 strong, right? Or even 2 sometimes. But the Most High knows exactly what he's doing. If the Most High put the spirit on this brother and I to do camp together, we're going to do camp together. We're not going to resist the spirit. If the Most High put the spirit on us to be solitary, I can see the brother from here. Okay? And it's for us to walk in that spirit. But let me read a little more of this. Where did it go? Is it 21? And strengthened. 22. So Acts 14:22. Where they strengthened the believers. They encouraged them to continue in the faith, reminding them, right, that we must suffer many hardships to enter the kingdom of God, of the Most High. And my brother and I have together gone through many hardships to maintain or to achieve what we have today. Okay? So, we do have fruit, not that, and I'm not coming against the brother, I'm just saying that, what it appears to be sometimes isn't always that, right? Not always that. And hey, if the Most High brings a young brother or an old brother, a brother that's older than me, right? Most High brings out a 61-year-old, right? And put it upon me, right? So what that would mean for me, right? That would mean I would have to humble myself because this brother is older. This is the generation that I'm from. Okay, this fucking kid knocked on my door yesterday. This fucking snot-nosed motherfucking Moabite. He fucking pop, 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 pop. I'm like, must be one of my friends. And then he tries the fucking door, right? My wife was like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, calm down, I got this. Must be one of my friends. It's this fucking camera service salesman, fucking snot-nosed little kid, not knowing how to talk to nobody. I'm like, he got on his little shirt, company shirt and hat. And this motherfucker ain't selling shit. What he's about to do is get smoked on somebody's porch, not mine, but just the generation gap, I'm like, this is not how you knock on somebody's fucking door, kid. Right? I'm like, you are gonna get smoked in this neighborhood with those sales techniques right there. All right, now, if the Most High sent a 62-year-old or above, immediately, the way my generation deals, right? How old is the elder apostle Tahar? Did he turn 63? Okay. My generation, right, would immediately, how old are you, brother? Oh, you're a couple of years older than me. So that would kick in. And I'm like, okay, well, we probably see things the same way, from the age similarity, Most High that brought you in the truth. So, and then, right, here's my test. Here's my trial. Most High put you with him, and it's up to me to, to take this brother in. He'd probably be standing right here with me, right? And what would I do? I would build him up, and I would make him speak, and I would read for him, and I would help him to become a speaker, and I would do what I thought, was right to build this brother, to strengthen Acts 14 and 22, where they strengthen the believers. And then it would appear as though now I have fruit, right? That would probably be the way that it would happen. And if he was a youngster that came up and probably, didn't resonate, right? For example, okay? For example, and there's a reason for things, okay? I remember GMS, the main camp, used to be a substantial amount of brothers out there, right? Used to be, 30 strong? And then they divided them. And here's the question. The main GMS camp would be the Elder Apostles camp, okay? And there might be the Elder Sakaran, right? Not sure how old he is, but he might be 10 years younger than the Elder Apostles, maybe more, but it's primarily the Elder Apostles because, they are, they're like-minded. They're of the same age. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay? And it's like that for a reason. Trust me, the Elder Apostle looks at some of the youngsters in the New York camp and he's like this. Well, you'd be better served to, be with these brothers that are your age. I'm positive that thought goes through his mind, and not to be divisive. I'm just saying that, it is what it is. Okay? A lot of teachers from antiquity, had to separate and do what it was that they had to do moving forward. Okay? So, again, it's rare that the Most High bring in an old man, right? And then the old man not be an old bottle, right? Which I was accused of, you old bottle, right? I remember 10 years ago I was called an old bottle. Made me mad, right? I was like, well, we'll see about that. But being an old man and identifying with an old man, right? Trust me, if an old man came in, he would have an easier time, if you will, right? Dealing with an older man. It is what it is, right? It just is what it is. Especially one that, you know, was raised in an era, right, that he was raised in, right? Coming in righteousness, that's a given. But then, you know, generation gaps is crazy. See? So, hey, if an older brother see this and be like, hey, let me go speak to that brother. I'm gonna see you like this. We're about the same age, so you got 2 years. You got 2 years on me, you get 2 years worth of respect, right? If it's 5, it's 5 years, right? And 5 years ain't nothing after 30. If you're 70, you come into this thing, the Most High might, you get vetted, and at a certain point, you're like this, oh, okay, the Spirit is on this man. I'm being tested. What do I do? Right? Do you act accordingly? Right? If the Most High sent me a youngster, right, then hopefully the generation gap wouldn't impede, you know, that's a test, right? That's a test that the brother and I have overcome. You know, I'm pretty, I would think that I'm pretty agreeable, right, with all men. Be it, if at all possible, what is it? Be at peace with all men, right? There's so much instruction in here that when you apply that instruction, you're going to be good no matter what, right? And I'm doing a lot of quoting, but it's just a spirit. We're too close. What's going to happen? This, I forgot who said it in whose video, but somebody mentioned, I know it was the brother Yawan, who I believe now is down in Dallas, right? And he brought up the, I forgot who it was, a bit of a harlot, a woman that was a bit of a harlot. He put the thumbnail out. I believe it was the elder Yashua, the elder Manatas Akbar did a video, and he put the woman out, and she was like, I want to be a wife next year, tag a Hebrew Israelite or something like that. They used that thumbnail, and then the brother Yawan came back and he used that thumbnail to say, can she make it, right? Meaning he spoke on the 11th hour elect, okay? And it makes you think, right? When you're dealing with the 11th hour elect, who's coming in? Who's going to come in the 11th hour? How are you going to deal, you know, how are you going to manage that? Be some youngsters, going to be some, we don't know, right? How are you going to manage that? Well, trust and believe this. The Most High knows. He got this thing set up. And Lord willing, we are those men, we're going to act accordingly. All right? All right? So, and that's what that is, right? Regarding fruit. And, you know, I really wanted to speak on false prophets and you know, that sort of thing, but you know, you don't resist the spirit. The brother came and laid the water down, and he does that, you know. But that's not him. My point was, he don't need to lay down no water. That dude is doing his due diligence, right? I know that guy. I know that brother, right? That's my brother. This is Philippians 2 and 10. 2 and 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And in this camp, in this one-man camp, right? That's a mantra here. When it comes down to it, hey, you might, you know, if you get kicked out, what do? You quit, you fold, you take your hand off the plow. Hell to the fucking no. You make a one-man camp your home, right? Until the Most High wants what's different. So, hey, the one-man camp is of the Most High, okay? I'm cool with it, right? I'm not saying that I prefer it. I'm not saying that anything other than, hey, man's goings are of the Lord. If you're a one-man camp, that's what the Most High wants, right? Lord willing, he don't take his Holy Spirit from me. Lord willing, he don't take his Holy Spirit from my brother Azamawaf. Right? The warrior, the soldier. Right? So, we're good. We're good. And why are we good? Because you better be good. According to your instruction is, you better be good. All right? Doesn't say you have to be together or have a huge camp. Two are better than one. It does say that. But it also says this. When it comes right down to it, see, if you get kicked out of the camp, for example, do you expect somebody to come with you? Well, he left because I got kicked out. That has proven to be dangerous. You wind up in a group called the Avengers. And I'm being stupid. Where do we go? Philippians again. Philippians 2 and 12. You can't get around that. Okay? Just like going back to owning nothing and being happy. All right? You could be part of a 20-man camp. What are you going to do? If you're part of a 10-man camp, right? And that's all you've ever known. And suddenly you get kicked out. Guess what? You're in a one-man camp now. You don't fall out. You don't go back into the world. You don't try to bring somebody with you. You man the fuck up, right? My brother can tell you. The brother Azamawaf can tell you, right? After decades, you man the fuck up. It's not easy, right? You man the fuck up and you get your ass out there and you don't miss a day, and you do what is right in the sight of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. What is that? Philippians 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, okay, you got to obey them instructions. Not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. The fear alone, oh, I got kicked out, I'm tripping. You got to repent. You got to go back and start. You got to start over. But the fear should motivate you. Damn. And you're all fucked up. What happened? And you get mad and you struggle. You're in the fiery furnace. But you never fucking take your hand off the plow. Never. You never take your hand off the plow. Keith Richards, if you know who Keith Richards is, right? A fucking devil and a demon, but he said something, right? To who? Who did he say it to? He said it to Slash. Slash told the story. Slash I guess Slash's his mom is black, so that would make him a tear, but we don't know who his father is. Slash could be an Israelite. Slash is the lead guitarist in a band called the Guns N' Roses. Keith Richards is the lead guitarist in a band called the Rolling Stones. And at one point, Slash quit Guns N' Roses, right? These are rock and roll bands, and we created rock and roll, so don't get it twisted. You niggas, oh, you listen to rock, you goddamn right. We created it. We're the former of all things. So anyway, Slash went and spoke to his buddy, because they all run in the same circles. He went and spoke to Keith Richards, and Keith was talking to him, and Slash goes, yeah, I left. And Keith Richards says to Slash, what? You left? Hey, you don't leave. You don't leave. Talk about a band. Right, the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones are still the Rolling Stones. I believe that Keith Richards was the lead guitar player. He's still there. You don't leave. He told Slash, you don't leave. He was like, huh? He's like, I'm the example. You don't leave the band. Right, and that stuck with me. Right, I'll leave a band in a heartbeat. Usually, if I'm in a band, it's mine, but. You know, will I leave a band? Probably, because if it's not mine, I can leave. And I've had people leave, but that's beside the point. But it made an impression on me that he told, and this is Slash telling the story. Slash said, Keith Richards said to me, man, you don't leave, right? Same thing with this truth. You get kicked out, you don't leave. You don't take your hand off the plow, right? How do you endure until the end? Right? It's not even a choice. It's not even, you know, it's not an option, right? Hey. It's not an option to leave. The truth. Okay, if you could get kicked out, you should pose that question to you. If you get kicked out, that was the most hard. It took me a minute to understand that. Oh, I blamed everybody, right? Oh, it was this and that. It was he was jealous and da-da-da-da-da-da-da for years. And finally you come to the conclusion, oh, Most High did that, right? It's okay. You're still in this thing. Keep fighting. And, you know, it's called maturing in this truth. You got to grow in this thing. That means you have to become a grown ass man. You got old men that, you know, you come in at 45, right? you got to grow into a man. You're a child when you come into this thing. You got to grow into a man. Right? So you don't leave and you figure it out. Oh, the Most High did that. He was testing me. Thank how about Shemi Hawashai that I'm still in this thing. Lord willing. Now let me get it right. Now let me, be relentless. Now let me be diligent, right? To make my calling and election sure. So, them 11th hours are going to start popping up. Why? You got false prophets out here talking about there ain't no Jacob's trouble, moron. The C-hip. You got everything except for the C-hip. You got the CBD say, oh, I'm going to teach. This is called the CBD. This is something that we've been talking about for the last 2 years. Now, see, you clearly see a nigga trying to establish some wiggle room because a nigga is slithering. IUI can't see. Is trying to slither their way back in because they already see that the C-hip is it. And the Most High ain't going to let them slither back in because the Most High is making them say, but it's not the C-hip. But it's not the C-hip. It's everything but the C-hip. So the Most High got them on lock. It is the C-hip. And no matter how hard they try to slither, right, back in, knowing that it's the C-hip, the Most High won't let them sneak that in. I see that. All right? It's everything except for the C-hip. He's not letting you slither back in. You're trying. They might slide. They might try to slide a C-hip in there, but it's not the C-hip. Woo! Most High got you on lock, nigga. All of you, all the way down. Right? It is the C-hip. Back to 2 Peter. Second Peter 2:1. The header says the danger of false teachers. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. Okay, and here we are. Let the slithering and the snake-like behavior continue, not begin, right? We've been watching the slithering, right? And I say, call halal Yahweh Shemi Hawashai. When it was time, when I came in, right, in early 08, what you do is you're looking and you're being guided, really. But you're looking, you're like, oh, here's a camp. Oh, here's a camp. Well, what are they saying? What are they saying? This is 08. Right? This is really the back end of 07. And then early 08, like January, February, you're looking and you're being guided. You're hearing a word over your shoulder saying, this is the way, right? And so you stumble. I have to say, before GMS, before Yahushua found me, through GMS, I was looking at IUI can't see, right? I was looking at it, and as the story goes, right, I'm like this. I ain't got no money, and this was back then. This was when I'm coming in, early 08, and whoever I went to. And I was looking at IUI can't see. and probably Gawk. So hard to remember that far back now, but I'm window shopping, right? I'm like, oh, here's a group, and so I'm looking at IU I Can't See, and they would get all the way up to, it's like they would have a 10 to 15 minute video, and they're teaching. I'm like, yeah, I'm on pins and needles. I'm waiting for the next part, and then they get to a part in the video, and they say, okay, and for $20, you can get the rest of this break. I was like, what? Record scratch. Like, what the fuck is this? Right? And so that didn't sit well with me at all. They're like, you're gonna charge me so that I can learn? I got 5 breakdowns. I remember this clearly. They have somebody stand up and say, I got 5 breakdowns. I know 5 breakdowns. I remember that. I was like, oh, so this is about how many breakdowns you know and how you have to spend money to get to 10. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, this there's something that's fucking not right about this. This is IU I Can't See. False teachers, right? It's coming in 08, right? And so I'm like, okay, well, let me look for something else. I'm window shopping. You go to somebody else, forget who it is at the time, and they're all doing it. They're all doing, get up to this, and and if you want the whole complete breakdown, send me this much money, and I'll give you, I got 10 breakdowns. Huh? And I was like, what the fuck is that? The spirit on me was like, that shit ain't right. At first you're like, oh, okay, well this is the truth and this is the way. So apparently you got to pay a little money to, and I ain't got no money. And where do I send it to and all of this shit, right? And so I'm like, well, let me find the truth. If this is the truth, let me find the truth where I don't fucking have to pay. Who's just teaching the truth without stopping and then demanding some money? Where's that at? Right? And after looking and looking, I'm like, you see one, you're like, well, that's not even the truth. But this is the truth. They're telling the truth all the way up until when they ask for some fucking money. Right? And you don't even know about buy the truth and sell it not. You don't even know about those things yet. Right? You're new. So, this is the spirit that was on me. You gotta find the truth where they're not selling it to you. And then I came across GMS and I'm waiting. I'm watching GMS and they're teaching them, like, okay, this is the truth. Like, when are they gonna stop and solicit my money? And I'm like, they never did. And I'm watching the Elder Apostles. They never stopped to solicit my money. And I'm like, this is the truth. They're not concerned with soliciting your money. This is the pure truth, right? This is it, right? And I remember because I had just got a new girlfriend in the interim of all of that. When I was deciding who became my baby mama. So I've been catching hell from day one. But anyway, I said GMS. And they were austere. They wasn't sugarcoating nothing. They was coming with it. And it was the hardcore truth. And they weren't asking for it. I'm like, this is it. And I had a slight problem with how hard they were coming. It's like, I did. And at the time, I'm trying to show who is now my baby mama, I'm trying to bring her into this thing with me. And there came a time where she was like, That's just too much. It's too much. And those guys, you gotta get a softer. You have to go a softer route. And I was like, okay. And I was doing it for her. I said, okay. So guess what? I went back to I Can't See for her. And it lasted about 2 weeks. And I was like, this is some motherfucking bullshit. I can't do this. And I had to make a choice. The Most High was making me make a choice between the truth and some bullshit. And what was on the line at that time was this woman, this girl, right? Not sure if we were pregnant at the time or not. It was pretty close. But she made me choose, right, between her and the truth. You either go the soft way or I can't fuck with you. I was like, you know what? This is about the truth. I'm like, hey, fuck you. I gotta go with the truth. Because I was newly divorced, so I still had, I still had an independence about me. So I chose the truth. I'm like, I gotta go with the truth. I can't, I can't be a bitch about this. I gotta go with the truth, right? I was already, a soldier. I was solitary already. I'm like, I'm entertaining you, bitch. Huh? You ain't in this thing with me just yet, right? And then we got pregnant, and I'm like, I'm not letting go of this truth. I'm standing with the truth. Later on, she put the truth on trial, and we fought over my daughter and the whole thing. But I remember clearly, right? Back then in 2008, that I Can't See was selling the truth. And I wasn't having it. I knew that was bullshit. You don't sell the truth. The truth should be free. This was the spirit that was on me. Fast forward to today. This dude's a fucking millionaire. A comfortable millionaire. From what? From selling the truth. Now, let me read this again. 2 Peter 2:1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, and denying the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That dude is clearly denying Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. He's not denying Jesus the Christ. Right? Most High and Christ blessed. He's not denying that. He's denying Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai after teaching the name perfectly on record. Even denying Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that bought them, right? And bring upon themselves swift damnation. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, going into what? Going into the, I forget what they call it, the Save Mart Center. What was that center that they were marching around with the ball player? That's the many that followed Nate and his pernicious ways. Not me. All right? I forgot the center that they marched around. And they've been doing a lot of them marches. And then the brother, the elder brother from LA, Mawatazak, made a perfect comparison of the devil Joe Biden, which is where this camp started out. You got the devil Joe Biden making a speech at Howard University. At the same time, they're doing a duplicate match of the Barclay Center, Salakia. It came back to me. The Barclay Center, right? They're marching around. And then you got this march over here with the so-called white supremacists. Right? That whole thing is a setup. The white supremacist march was a setup. Same setup as the Barclays Center march. What are they doing? What is this dude doing? So the spirit that was on me in '08 that said, this nigga's getting paid, come to find out he's a fucking detective for them folks. He's a detective. What else is he doing? Oh, he's working. If you can't see that he's working with these people to this day, he's certainly getting paid by these people or allowing to make money, right? Because if they didn't want you to make no money, nigga, they'll put us to ask Wesley Snipes if they will stop you, right, from making money. They have their ways. So, not only is this dude a false prophet, 2 Peter 2:2, and many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. What is the way of truth? The MOTB is the C-hip. It's being spoken evil of. That's the way of truth. The way of truth is don't take the C-hip. What is this nigga saying? Oh, well, you can take it because that's not the MOTB. And the only way that I can spend my money, nigga, is through that C-hip. That's easy. Just like I was able to see, call halal Yahweh Shimi Shabbat Shibba Takadash. I was able to see that this nigga's all about money then. And it was easy. It should be just as easy to see this nigga's trying to hold on to his money. How's he gonna do that? You gotta explain away that C-hip. And that nigga is desperate right now. He is in dire straits to explain away. They're on him. They're like, nigga, hey, you ain't doing enough. They're telling him, look here, Nathaniel 7, you're not doing enough to explain away this chip. We demand right now that you attack the men of the Lord. So go to Twitter and tell them, don't follow these guys. You're not doing enough. You're resting on your laurels of all of the money that we've given you, and you're not doing enough. Well, I sent my people to know. No, nigga, we want you to do it. This got to come from you, right? And we see that. We clearly see what's going on right now. Okay? Letting you know what? That we're at the end. In the last days. Knowing this first, that in the last days, right? We're going to wrap it up. Second Peter 3:3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days. Okay? We're so close to the end. And that's my thing. Hey, we're in the end. We're in the end. That's my thing. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days, what? Scoffers. All right, brother, all right. In the last days, scoffers. And that word scoffers, when you take it back, what does it mean? False teachers. Okay, you get scoffers coming up all, oh, y'all, this ain't the truth. Like, what's his name? Banana Republic. Forgot what he called it. Banana Republic and olive oil. I forgot what the brother called it. That's a scoffer. When, like this nigga that claims to be my brother-in-law. What? Is it brother-in-law? Something like that. Stepbrother. A so-called stepbrother come and scoff the camp. That's a scoffer and a false teacher, because he claims to be a teacher. Shame on you, nigga. You come to scoff the camp. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust. What could that lust be? The lust for power and to sit on a horse. The lust for money, because the love of is not money being the root of all evil. It's the lust or love of money that is the root of all evil. So this nigga is the root of all evil, right? He'll do anything. He'll do the bidding of the devil. I want you to get as many brothers as you have that you're paying, right, that have fallen for your snake oil, to march around the Barclay Center. And we're going to clear the way. We're going to give you an escort, a police escort, to enable you to do that. Just like they did in D.C. with the white supremacists. Because he's part of the setup. This nigga is part of the setup. Can you see it? The brother brought it out expertly. The brother Mawatazak. He brought it out expertly. And then the brother, I forget his name. He expertly had Nate doing the one-eye symbolism. The picture with this eye dark. He this nigga is on blast. There is nothing hidden that shall not come to light. Nigga, you know that. You know you're going down. All right? Walking after their own lust. This dude is clearly lustful. Power and money on this side. Nigga, you stupid. And you made that deal so many years ago, you're trying to enjoy it. I get it. 2 Peter 3 and 4. And saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. This nigga is saying, Yahushua. See, and here's what really happened. A certain number of niggas, after the year 2000, they were like this. Now it's my turn to make some money. I'm going to take this thing. Oh, this is a good. The oil tables worked and whatever, the garments and stuff, they worked. Now it's my turn to raise up. Now that the heads are gone, it's my turn to take this money-making operation and go out here and flourish. Yeah, I'll take the Faustian bargain. I'll take that money and I'll build on it, and I'll have something, because I'm not really a believer. After the year 2000, this ain't real. So here it is. The elder apostles, Most High put the Spirit on them to endure until the end. The others, right, that refuse to tell you that the MOTB is the C-HIP, they took that bargain, man. They said, this is a good money-making operation. I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to continue the oil table situation. turn it into a hustle. Here's the internet, I'm gonna make some money, you know. And they took the startup money. They took the startup money and they flipped it. The only one that didn't take the startup money is the elder apostles. And it's clear. All right? It's clear. So anyway, I'm going to read this. 2 Peter 3:9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness. These niggas are praying that the end never comes. Where's the promise of his coming? The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to what? Repentance. So what? Do what? Repent. Acknowledge your offense. If you was teaching something wrong, say, hey, you know what? I was wrong about that. Not moron. If you would have listened to what I said, moron. No. No, you acknowledge the fact, hey, I was going off right here. I repent in front of the whole congregation. It's not going to happen. So how are you going to slip in the C-hip when it's time? When it's time to acknowledge that the C-hip is the MOTB, how are you going to do that? Most High ain't letting you do it. Because you would have to say, you know what? You've doubled down and tripled and quadrupled down so hard on the C-hip, everybody knows. There's no wiggle room. There's no slithering. So how are you going to, when it's time to acknowledge that you were wrong, you're not going to do it. You can't. The Most High is not letting you. You're in a trick bag. And we clearly see it. And we're going to keep that pressure on your ass and not let up. All right? So with that, we're going to end it right there on the false teaching. With that, we hope that the elect are edified. All right? With today's camp, shout out to the brother Azamuwath. All right? With that, all praise is due to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elder that came before them that taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and its sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right? Shalom.